I was a woman, a young woman, doing work that in a field that was mostly where I see mostly men. And the topic itself, economics, finance, is it's not, I think, the topic that women choose easily. I think I had that familiarity with that. I had this feeling that, women in my family were everywhere. Even my grandma was an entrepreneur. If I think back about this, it happens because of what I was studying. And this started with my PhD dissertation. I was looking at saving decisions, and in particular the decisions about saving for retirement. And what I realized, and I found very surprising, is that people which are very similar in terms, for example, of income, education, and economic circumstances would end up at retirement with vastly different amounts of wealth. And I thought that there was something else we were missing. And that I thought was, the knowledge of, for example, how to invest your money, the knowledge of how to manage your money well, I could see that, if somebody puts the money in a checking account and somebody invests in the stock market, 30 years later, these people would look very different. And when I tried to see, whether financial literacy indeed would play a role, I found that there was no data, no information on financial literacy. And this is where and why eventually I pair with another scholars that was very interested in pension and savings and design questions to measure financial literacy. It wasn't there, and so we had to come up with those questions. So this person was Olivia Mitchell. She was a professor at Wharton and very much focused on pension. And we met at a dinner at a conference. And after that dinner, the day after, Olivia gave me a call and said, I have an opportunity to design a module for this survey where I am part of the advising board, and we could do a module about measuring financial literacy. Would you be interested in doing so, and can we do it together? And of course, I was very excited to do that. What happened is they told us, yes, we could indeed add this module, but we only had 3 questions to measure financial literacy. And we thought, oh my God, what do you mean? We needed 20 questions to measure financial literacy. And so we pushed back and they said, no, you have 3 questions. What we thought was a major constraint turned out to be the greatest opportunity. And I have to tell you that now these 3 questions have been dubbed the big 3, potentially to say, these are the fundamental questions to measure financial literacy. And they are now present in almost every survey, every country around the world. So the first question is, imagine that you have $100 in a saving account and it turns 2% per year. After 5 years, what would you have in this account if you left the money to grow? Is it more than 1 or 2? Less than 1 or 2, exactly 1 or 2, and we allow people to say, I do not know, or refuse to answer. The second question is, imagine that you have $100 in a saving account, the interest rate is 1% per year, and inflation is 2%. At the end of the year, in the money in the account, would you be able to buy more, less, or the same as today? The third question is about risk diversification. We ask people, what do you think is safer, buying a company stock or a stock mutual funds? In Peru, where there was a huge program about financial education in school, they found that the knowledge didn't just affect the student. Not only the student were more financially literate, but also the teacher became more financially literate, and the parents as well. But it is better which parents were benefiting from the financial education of the kids, the parents of low socio-economic background. And who was teaching the parents? The daughters. The girls were teaching the parents. And this is why I say give financial literacy to a girl, and we are going to change the world.